Disclaimer: if you're sensitive to gore or sensitive to disturbing topics or can't even handle any of these topics, it's recommended to click off this video. Enjoy at your own risk. Dear soul-driven love, my name is Leonie Noella. I live in Hawaii with no parents. A 17-year-old girl with a little sister who is 10 years old named Rani, who plays Roblox on a daily basis and a huge fan of your game. Non-stop, all she ever does is talking about your most trendy game called Forsaken and how it is the most greatest thing on earth. Needless to say, I've played the game a few times with her. I have to admit it, I apparently never cared about the game as it looked really confusing to follow. I don't really see this Roblox game the same way nowadays. Ever since she started playing it, she's always wanted a 2-time plush doll, her favorite survivor by the way. I tried to find one to buy for her at Amazon, but so far I haven't found one for that matter, any Forsaken merchandise. I once asked ChatGPT to find one, but I was left with a message that says request unavailable. I've also went on other shopping sites, but so far I haven't seen any plushies or figures from your game. A few days ago, Ronnie brought home a 07 and 7 plushie. She said she found it on the school playground under the slides. It was filthy and damaged, with one of its arms ripped off. The burger on top of its head was missing. Someone had colored its buttony eyes black with a Sharpie, and this thing had the most peculiar smile I've ever seen. I don't know why I'm telling you this, but sometimes I feel like that thing hates me. Ronnie loves it and takes it everywhere with her. I can't understand why she loves it. It's just a dumb old plushie. However, it's just her favorite thing. I tried cleaning it up, but I'm unable to remove the black ink. She took it with her for a sleepover with her friend Lilac at their house a few weeks ago. I'm not quite sure what happened, but my little sister can't go over there anymore. I had no idea what just happened on that night, but I knew it has something to do with Ronnie lending her 07 and 7 stuffed doll to her friend Lilac when they went to bed, and something terrible happened to her during the night. The thing is that Rani had told me that she hasn't been to school and the hula practice since the sleepover. Something all she does is panic nowadays, and had to be placed into a mental hospital. I can't even comprehend what it all happened. I've even caught my little sister on more than a few occasions talking to it. I'm a little creeped out. Sometimes it feels like the plushie is listening and talking back to her. I knew it's quite idiotic to tell you this, but I can't seem to shake the feeling that I'm a bit creeped out by it. And I obviously knew that something is not right. However, that's not what I'm really talking about. The reason I'm writing to you is because I never liked your series dedicated to your game. It's not cool, it's not funny, it's absolutely abysmal. That's why we started watching it, and to tell you the truth, it's nothing but a complete catastrophe. I have no idea why it's allowed to stay on YouTube, and if I figure out the context of it, I'll never make sure that my little sister never watches it again. When we started watching your Forsaken series, it was on Saturdays and Sunday mornings. Now it seems to be all over my YouTube page. Whenever I picked her up from after school, or when she wakes up all throughout the day, I'll find it on YouTube. And I'm not sure how they do it, but almost 2 months now, Forsaken is all over my computer screen. It has gotten so bad to the point I had to delete YouTube off of my computer and my iPhone, and now we had to watch only on Newgrounds, Netflix, and even TikTok. What's absolutely upsetting is how your episodes were going. Soul, I don't know what's wrong with you or the developers that makes these games or shows, but they're downright cruel and evil. Only a twisted-minded individual would make something like this and like it. I thought it was strange that Forsaken is on my YouTube page all the time, but in the beginning, it didn't bother me at all. That all changed with your first ever episode called Harpy Newbie Bunny. It was an episode where Noob was escaping the killers, but his pet rabbit, Gubby, caught some rare disease and has to seek help immediately. That was a very terrible episode, and I didn't like how the other survivors laughed at Noob and called him names for letting Gubby rot in that hellscape. They kept on until Noob had a mental breakdown and started screaming and crying, while the other survivors gleefully beat up the poor rabbit, Gubby, into smithereens. I was so shocked when I watched it with her. Even more shocking was my sister's reaction, just laughing and carrying on, as if it was just a comedy series. Is this the type of show you just invented? The next episode was called Pizza Delivery Elliot. It was about Elliot serving pizzas to his customers, and they all hated them, telling him he's a scumbag, and that all his pizzas were terrible, and that nobody loves him, and wishes he would go to hell whenever he dies. The customers tormented Elliot until he literally lost it. He started cutting himself, harming himself in some way, while he's yelling the words, "Please, I didn't mean it," and "Somebody help," repeatedly, while he was in panic mode and crying at the same time. My fucking hell. It was awful. It was so bad, I shut down my laptop, and I even told my sister she can't watch it anymore. It was gruesome, and how it never negatively affect my sister at all. I even talked to her about it, and she told me that 07 and 7's plush said that Elliot deserved it. His pizzas were stupid, and no one loves him, and wishes he would burn in hell. I was stunned. I took that thing away from her and wanted nothing to do with your game. I thought the matter was closed, and I even threw the plushie away and thought it was the end of it, but it wasn't. The next day, after lunch, a new episode showed up as me and Ronnie watched the video on Newgrounds. I never seen the series on the website before since it only ran on YouTube. However, it was worse than the other episodes. It was called First Tricks 07 and 7. It was about 07 and 7 trying to learn how to do a hitbox. When he can't get it right after his third try, the others got extremely mad at him. They ripped off one of his arms, just like and his top burger hat, just like the plush my sister had. They even threw him off a building. You could clearly see him hit the concrete floor. There was blood everywhere, along with body parts, and with the sickening sound of 07 and 7 breaking his own neck. Every other episode after that, 07 and 7 is missing one of his arms, his burger hat, and his head hangs at a weird position. I don't clearly get you guys. Are you developers mentally sick? Just like I said, as much as I try to stop my little sister from watching your show and playing your game, it still comes on all the time, and all the other episodes are just cold-blooded. The last one, where they set fire to guest 1337's house and called him names while him and his family are trapped inside and burned to death. Spawn Outbreak, where they threw Two-Time into a pit of fire and putting a ton of gasoline into the pit until Two-Time burned into ashes, and all the while laughing at their screams. How could he even call himself the owner of Forsaken when you invented this piece of crap? There are a lot more episodes like this, but I won't go into any further detail about them. I've banned Forsaken in my house and forbidden my little sister from playing your game. She somewhat got the plush back and told me, "You should never do that. You made 07 and 7 really mad." What that means is beyond me. As you may know, this is my second letter I've sent to you about your creation. I've attached to your response as my first pose. Dear Mrs. Noella, we thank you for your time to write to us about this issue, but the Forsaken development team has never, nor will at this point in time, had any plans for creation of a Forsaken series. What you even described in some of the context of these videos, I'm not sure if you're joking or not. The Forsaken developer team always cares about everyone's safety, and we would never create and invent horrific games that would torment our fans. If you can give us more information about this, we'll look more into it. This has to be your show. I could clearly see your name credited in the description on every episode. All the screenshots I took and your name on it have been attached to my post sent to you. Wait a minute. I could hear this show coming on in my phone. Dear fuck. Gosh, please no.